Sifu catches Helanu! That is huge! They've amped out the embers of Beyond's offensive core. Let's hope they've got enough damage to back it up. Fairness Bookstone will not be denied. Gripped out. Ian swept away. Paranoid to the sky with a double. Holy shred stand! Break the curse! Rampage there for Sifu. He is tied for them after 4 long seasons of setbacks and second places. The Oscar goes to Book and the Bad News Bears. They will take Glacier Finals.
Trying to go on me. Terrific.
He's an army ult on me.
Naja, ult on me. Take this fight, boys. We win it.
Yeah.
Don't let them back.
I'm just certain.
All right, boys. Let's become champions. Run this shit down. Isn't on me. She's here. Kill her. Titan. Still ult. Go straight to Titan. That's your ult down.
Go Titan. That's game, boys.
That's game.
Marshall
You gotta take this.
National
Let's fucking go.
champions.
Let's fucking go. Shred it. Get us out of this game. No one's gonna go big. G fucking shit, boys.
There we go, boys.
Let's fucking go.
That's 10-0. He's half. Come back.
Nice.
10 seconds. I'm up in 9.
Nice.
Good damage.
Be careful, this one. Run.
Nice.
Dude, get the fuck out of here, dude. We're back. We're back at it again. We're so Barack.
We're so Barack
here. It's me, Spirit of Book, and it's you, Hydra. How's it going, man?
Oh, shoosh. Man, how you been, man? I think it's been a good week, honestly. You know,
it's been a great. I have COVID right now, so it's like
that's true.
It's a bit hit or miss.
So,
yeah.
It's a mad kind of feeling. But you know what? I mean, I think overall, though, I think in terms of Smite community enjoying this time, Smite 2 obviously went 24/7. It's at least in my opinion, I think the 24/7 has been phenomenal. I think a lot of people were either not expecting it to be so fun compared to other flash chests and stuff, but like I think it's really fun right now. So I think everyone's having a good time with it.
Yeah, I'm having a blast as well. It's been a great time. I love 5 stacking. That's the
best change.
It's so fun to just play ranked with friends and kind of treat it like scrims a little bit to just get some good practice in. I love playing jungle right now, which is not something I expected to say because I hate jungle in Smite 1.
So true.
So maybe I'm role changing, maybe I'm not. I don't know just yet. But it's been a lot of fun. I agree. I love the game. It's a lot of fun. There are definitely some things I would like to see change. But there are things I don't want to see changed. And number one, of course, I think is obvious. And a lot of people have been saying it. Invader's Curse and getting rid of the 5 stacked ranked are the 2 big ones where I'm like, please don't get rid of those 2 things.
Yeah, agreed. I think I've always been a big person that was like always advocating for taking out Invader's Curse in Smite 1. I think it really just dumbs down the game. And it just makes like certain strategies like way less viable. And I don't like that. But in Smite 2, obviously, like I guess people are complaining about the Sunder Relic where you can, do 400 damage to a buff camp at level 1. And you're like, that's frustrating. You're not used to that kind of thing, but you can definitely counterplay that, I think. Yeah, like I think it's good. I think also the way it upgrades to be a secure relic is really good. It's a good way to keep it relevant throughout the entire game. I'm a big fan of it. I hope it doesn't go away. I hope they don't bring back Invader's Curse. Oh my gosh, I hope they don't bring back Invader's Curse.
Right?
And same thing with 5-man ranked. I mean, like the biggest issue is like if you don't have friends, just say that, like if you don't have 5 people to queue with,
we'll get to that in a bit soon here.
We can talk about the Twitter beef.
Well, we'll get to that in a bit. Let's keep talking about Smite 2 for a second.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, I'm having a blast. It's been a lot of fun. We had another successful alpha weekend. The Cowabunga boys ended up taking it home.
Yeah.
Paul has officially died though in an alpha tournament, and
Woo.
we'll take that as a massive win.
That's a win. That's a win. Yeah, no, I mean, I watched that tournament. I think it was really cool. If you guys don't know, Valo, OSL's very own, was in the finals for that game. And they were cooking in game one. Like,
They
there was
were.
a real world where they ended up winning game one. And I think just a little bit of an overextension, a couple bad team fights ends up swinging that game back into Cowabunga's favor. If you guys haven't seen it, go check out that the cool tournament they did. It was for a lot of money, a lot of schmeckles. But game two was not nearly as close. It seems like Cowabunga just kind of knew what they wanted to do. They knew to like not make the same mistakes they made in game one, and not let Valo do what he did in game one. Let the rest of the squad do what they did in game two. So, but yeah, it's not Twitter beef, but I like messing with Aztec.
Oh,
Yeah,
Majin, I don't think you know the Twitter beef we're talking about, but
hey, listen,
to each their
it's
own.
tea.
It is.
Yeah, it's
it is
tea.
tea.
I mean, we're talking about SMITE 2 now. We could probably talk about the Twitter beef and then talk about conflicts SMITE 1 and stuff like that too.
It's not even beef, bro. It's just some weirdo, man. I can't listen.
Podcast context.
I can't imagine loading up into an alpha rank game where matchmaking is clearly not in the state of the game right now. You're loading up with ex-pro player Pagon, who has made it to last season's World Championship Finals, came in second place, and then has previously had fantastic accolades as a top tier mid laner in SPL. And then you're queued with Schlemmy, who is like a Masters GM level ADC. You queue with those guys. You're a trio stack. You load up into a rank game expecting to just slaughter and dog on some like little baby kids or whatever, playing some Amber players because there's no matchmaking. You get into a hard game and you rage quit. Like, I cannot possibly imagine wasting my level of time like that.
I will say, yeah. I mean, I think that's so true. I think it's weird. I told people personally, so I'm not really a person who wants to grind the alpha because a couple reasons. My favorite characters aren't even in the game yet,
Right.
More coming. Alma's coming very, very soon. They tweet out that teaser today, which is really dope. But obviously we all know that Kepri's in the works to come in, and he's like my favorite guardian in the game. So I'm sure once the roster's a little bit updated, I'll want to grind it. But at least right now, again, the game's fun, but me no lifing ranked in an alpha, that's obviously not finished. It's just not my kind of thing. So for someone to get so mad to where not only do they make a tweet about it,
fucking middle of the game, bro. So okay, for context, it's me and then 4 other people all queued together, and not top Athens level players or anything. I would say maybe Delphi Sparta players, if anything.
Yeah, for sure.
And we're just having a good time playing comp, ranked 5-man. It's fun. It's been a lot of fun. I've been queuing jungle. It's been a great time. Game 1, because we get them in 2 games in a row. Game 1, don't forget to trade. I'm playing the Bacchus jungle, and it's a great time. It's a great time. We own them, and we win. And then we re-queue, get them again in the second game. I don't know what happened in particular that he decided to rage quit right then and there, but
yeah, who knows, man.
Something happened. I was just invading their camps. I like to do this thing where I start on the enemy red and then invade their back harpies, because a lot of people just default start speed. And I've been saying this to people like SDF, where I think now more than ever, junglers really have to figure out their farming patterns and really have to think about their farming patterns.
I agree.
In SMITE 2. And people who just like to default, and I'm going to go start on speed, and then I'm going to go do my red buff, and then I'm going to go do my back harpies. You can't just do that anymore. You really have to think about where you're starting. You really have to be in communication with the rest of your team. And he had Pagon on his team. So I don't know, man. I think it was super weird. So anyways, invade the back harpies, start at their red, take their back harpies, take the side buff, the one in mid. It's not though. That's the thing. I've had that happen to me a few times now. And I don't know. This is why I'm so excited to play jungle a little bit, is because I feel like I'm able to just find this and scrape up farm anyways and anywhere, and still make plays work. I don't know. It's just been cool like that.
Right.
But yeah, to get that upset, and then I'm just playing the game, and I get a ping on my phone, and I look over at my phone. I'm like, what is this? Oh,
Like, you've been added on Twitter.
an X notification? What could this possibly be? And then
Silly.
and I quote, "Oh my goodness, man. We deadass got hard stuck 2K MMR players like at Spirited Book." So he ats me. 5-man invading camps did not 5-man invade, by the way. 5-man invading camps in Smite 2 ranked against randoms. It's crazy. I did not realize that Pagon and Schlemmy are absolute randoms, dude.
So true. I mean, but to be fair, if you look in the comments, people were like kind of backing you, like, okay, like if you're not invading a Smite 2, I don't know what to tell you.
Yeah,
like
so
that
we
was
got-
like my favorite comment.
We got
I was
like
that's so
sharks.
funny.
If you're not invading, I don't know what to tell you.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. And then like other people being like, "Who the fuck? Like, why are you like so upset about this? Like, ignore his ass."
Like it's an alpha rank game. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm like, that's so weird, dude.
Yeah. So and then like I got this one guy who's like actually backing this guy up and then being like, "Invading camps takes no skill and has no downside. Zerging is just kind of lame and not fun to play or face." Yeah, it's just not true, man.
Then don't play Smite 2.
That's
It's funny.
that's the words of a jungler who's been default farming in Smite 1 for the past like 6 years.
Exactly.
Yeah. Or 4 years, I guess.
I mean, to be fair, it's a really good time for Smite. I think Smite's in a really good spot. I think Smite 2 is like looking really promising. But if you don't like the current state of Smite 2, there's plenty of games
Yeah.
out there right now.
It's still
like,
an
Mr. Rain
alpha.
dropped on the same day. Yeah, first of all, it's still an alpha, first of all. But like Black Ops 6 beta also dropped. If you're a shooter fan, go play that. There's plenty of good
Deadlock.
story games. If you've never played Deadlock is also out there if you're like a MOBA fan, but you're not like really vibing with Smite 2 and you play maybe Battleborn back in the day, go play some Deadlock. Like it's not like you don't have any options. Except to like just go queue an alpha, you know what I mean? Like,
yeah. And then I'm kind of like, Pagon is a random. And then he just like tweets a picture of me, which I was like, this is very odd. But I will say the picture he decided to tweet, my partner has this as like one of their background photos. So I'm like, bruh, you could not have tweeted like a more like a solid photo of me, like, and like just vibing, you know, and like my partner really likes this picture of me and they have it as like their phone background. So I'm just like,
okay.
bruh, like you could not have posted a more like flattering photo of me. Like, I don't know what to tell you.
Oh,
Man.
no.
Just
only
truly
this-
vibing.
all I'm gonna say before we move on is that I don't know, dude. If bars gets invaded one more time, he's gonna be at the bars at night.
Truly, I don't know.
Down a bottle.
If I got that guy in my game again, I'm picking like some warrior jungle and I'm just running at him from minute 1 and I'm not gonna stop. I'm not
just
gonna
lock in
stop.
Mordred, bro.
Just locking in
Mordred's so
Mordred.
fun.
Mordred is so fun.
I don't think he's like insanely good right now, but because he's very buggy
Disagree.
right now.
Well, yeah, okay, yeah.
Yeah. I think his bugs make him not nearly as viable as he would be if he was super pause, super finish. But his design is so fantastically fun. I think he's peak Smite. I love the direction they're going with.
He's
for
peak
him.
Smite
Please don't change
2.
him.
Like that's the thing.
Yeah,
like
peak Smite 2. Peak Smite 2.
He's
sure.
clearly a character where everyone was where like Hi-Rez was like, hey, how can we make a really fun combo character that flows really well with our new FPS and our new like game engine?
Mm-hmm.
And they said, oh, let's just add a dash as part of his passive that he wants to use to combo
So
abilities. And I'm like, damn,
It's so dope.
kind of cooking, not gonna lie.
The thing is, like, okay, so like some people are complaining about the rate they're adding in these old gods from Smite 1 to Smite 2. The thing is, like, Hecate is a fantastic mage. Love her ultimate. Mordred's a great addition to the game.
Yeah.
If they keep pumping out characters like this, I'm not gonna miss the old cast.
No,
me personally.
I mean, like,
you know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like,
I mean, there's some characters where I'm like, I would like these characters in because I think they're fundamental to the game. Like the fact that we have no Peel Guardians, I think is kind of criminal right now.
Agreed. Please bring Kepri.
Yeah, so I'm like bringing Kepri or Sylvanas, something like that.
Give me a Gab or something. I don't know.
Even the mid lane mages, I'm kind of like, we have one burst mage and it's Cuckoo, really. Like, yes, you have some other like different characters, but like Goobus being one of the default characters, I think is very odd to me because he's like such a weird play style. So that's a mage you don't really want to be looking at.
True.
Yeah, it's just very like odd, some of the selections, but I also think some of the selections are really good as well.
Agreed. I mean, I like the shock selection. I like, like where their mind was at because they were playing with different kinds of scaling and that idea. I definitely like that. So I think that's pretty dope. But yeah, I mean, I think, Smite 2's in a fun spot right now. I'm not going to be grinding it insanely just because, again, it's an alpha. I have other things I can do. But I mean, I think anyone that wants to play a game, obviously, I think hop in, have fun. Hi-Res is giving out Smite 2 codes too if you didn't buy the Fountains edition. Like, linger in a stream or something, you might just get a free Smite 2 code. So
yeah.
Definitely look to get in that if you're interested.
Yeah, for sure. And I mean, yeah, I mean, you and I kind of are bouncing in between the two games right now. Personally, we got
I do
Smite.
miss my captain.
We got OSL coming up in next week. This upcoming
I will
Sunday.
say, a lot of people have been talking. They're like, dude, like I wish OSL was like over so I could just focus on Smite 2. I don't want to play Smite 1 anymore. And like genuinely, like I can't blame them. Obviously, like
And now you and I have signed up for Fight Club as well, which is on Smite 1.
Yeah. It is. Yeah, I will be playing in that league.
It is so Jover, man.
Yeah, I think I'm on an AGL roster now too. I do think I'm on the AGL roster.
Have fun with that. Surely AGL. Oh no, they're doing their last season on Smite 1. Yeah,
it's their last season on Smite 1. But it's more of like a for fun roster. It's not even like a Masters team. I don't think. I think at best it's Glacier, and that's like at best. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But like it's cool people. I think it's gonna be like a cool vibe. I think it's gonna be really, really fun. You know, played around with them today. They were all super fun, super chill people. So I'm excited to hang out with them. You know, get a couple of Smite 1 games in. So
nice. Yeah, just kind of vibe out. You know.
Yeah, exactly. Imagine signing for a Smite 1 league winner.
I guess, man.
You're on that roster too.
There's no Smite 2 leagues yet. Well, actually, that's not entirely true. So I guess I can kind of announce this. I'll be working here and there with the Smite 2 Smite 2 Smite Prime tournaments. Not this Friday because I'm busy, and I don't even know if the next Friday necessarily. I need to check at you when I'm back in. But I'm going to be working with Jithins, which is going to be fantastic, and do some
super dope,
some casting potentially and production stuff for them. Smite Prime is again a weekly Friday tournament that's going to be taking place on Smite 2. It was hugely popular in Smite 1 when it was around. If you guys want like good competition, sign up for stuff like that. And I think Jithins is saying he's trying to get prizing for it, like diamond prizing for it. I know it's not gems anymore, but like diamond prizing for it, which would be quite cool.
I think it'll be dope.
Yeah. On that note.
Yep. On that note,
you want to talk about Smite 1?
Yeah, might as well talk about Smite 1 things.
So a patch dropped today.
Yeah, well, it drops tomorrow.
Well, the notes dropped today, so we can take a look at the notes.
Oh, true. And Cody did say, to confirm, they did get diamond pricing already for Smite Prime. So
nice. Perfect.
That's huge. Definitely sign up for that if you're a big Smite 2 enjoyer right now, for sure.
So it's the Seraphim 11.9 update notes for Smite 1. And we have to talk about this because this matters for OSL.
It's true. This actually does. I was surprised that they even dropped another patch for Smite 1.
I'm not. I think I'm not. I can see with the direction that they're going why they dropped this patch. Because I think what they're trying to do is get Smite in a state where they don't have to do major updates to major characters often. If that makes sense.
No, I can see it. I will say a lot of people were very unhappy with some of the cross-gen skins that got announced because it confirmed some characters coming to Smite too early. Cough, Ganesha. So they're definitely looking at Ganesha being put in Smite 2. Some people hate him. I don't mind him. I think we need another Pure Guardian. But
agreed. So let's talk about these patch. These are skins, obviously. It's like a Seraphim angel, devil theme, obviously. Balance in terms of like items and stuff. There's a lot, and there's a lot of gods and item updates here. So Curse Weaver getting a bit of a nerf, which I think is just not enough personally, but we'll see.
Yeah, I agree. I think this item is, well, honestly, it's being really abused by Cthulhu. I think he's like the worst abuser of the item for sure. But I think it's making Guardian solos feel so much stronger than what they were. So like that combined with the conduit and the gem of focus build, I think it's actually very, very good. So I mean, we'll see. I don't think this is gonna take it out of the meta at all. But now we're nerfing Sunder.
So I mean, this right here, I think is a good way to kind of know like what they're trying to do. Is our goal of this patch was to adjust statistically low win or purchase rate items of all categories, including relic starters and standard items. So like this is kind of like the caveat of like everything. So I don't understand why we were nerfing Sunder.
If it's low win rate.
Yeah, like we have not been purchasing a lot of Sunder. I'm not really sure why we're nerfing Sunder. I understand it's a direct like Cthulhu counter and stuff, and like it's pretty effective, but like we're nerfing it to 5%. Then its new cap is now 7.5, which was its old tier 1. Like I don't know.
Yeah, but hey, keep on AOE Sundering Blast is still pretty really like strong if you start a fight with it. So if you can get a good Sunder off in a team fight, you might just win it, which is really cool. But like I don't think it's being bought enough to warrant it getting nerfed. Maybe I'm just not playing Smite 1 enough to know.
I was gonna say you and I haven't played in a hot second.
Yeah,
so.
I was like maybe there's like a Sunder meta I just don't know about. But I will say like the state of the queues are not super healthy in Smite 1.
No.
So like yeah, I was like so like realistically like there's some more nerfs that are further down in this patch that I think I agree with a lot more than the Sunder nerf.
Yeah, and then like immediately we have a Divine Barrier, the newest like relic that we've gotten this season that has only been buffed. We now get movement speed for allies when you walk through the wall. And then increased basic attack damage buff from 15 to 20% for the max rank, which I quite like. I think like it's still an item that isn't that good, and even this buff I still don't think it'll be enough, but we'll see.
I've always been a big Divine Barrier fan. The issue is that there's so many better relics that you want in support.
Correct.
Because supports are the people that would be building this, unless they just murder TP and then Solo Lane Guardian start building this.
Even then, I don't think so.
Even then, like you're still getting like Blink Thorns, Like,
yeah.
Like but like realistically, like or even beads, it depends on the character you are. But like realistically speaking, it's like what support's going to be building this over like let's say horrific shell. Horrific's is still busted anyway, it's horrific. So I think if we murdered Horrific and just like they were just not afraid to rip the bandage off and just kill the relic, because I'd be okay with that. I'm so down for Horrific just not being in the game anymore, honestly. But
even Med is like really good right now as well. Like surprisingly,
yeah, it's just countered by Horrific. So it's just like which like I think Med is still solid, But like I think this relic does have a use. Maybe not like super high level play. If you're sieging with this,
yes,
and you have Cthulhu on your team, you have a Divine Barrier, your ADC is just plinking the Phoenix for 20% additional auto attack damage. That Phoenix is dying so quickly, But I do think there's a world where you maybe look at like a Bracer Divine Barrier kind of like relic slot for your support and maybe do some shenanigans with that. I think that could be really interesting on stages, but I would need to play with it more. But I'm excited. I'm glad they're buffing it.
Yeah, I am too. It's definitely one of the nicer buffs this patch as we get onto some of the item changes. I like this sovereignty buff. I think it's fine. The decreased cost and the increased physical protections on it. This is an item we've not seen at all, basically. Just reinforcing the aura support style. Duality getting a buff to its cost. Obviously, a cost decrease. Transcendence getting increased mana and mana per stack from 10 to 15. Shadow Drinker getting a slight movement speed increase. Just like some of these changes are very odd. Like obviously the price adjustments I think are cool. Like increased mana ? Increased movement speed ? Remove physical protection. Increase physical power to 70, and then increase magic power to 95 is very weird to me.
I will say, like. I will say, like, if you're a mannequin hidden blade jungler, like that's like the angle you're going for. You probably don't want protections anyways and stuff.
Yeah,
but I think there's a
you're going glass cannon one shot.
Yeah, exactly. Like, if only it didn't proc on minions. Yeah, it feels bad. If it just only procced on gods, I think it'd be really good.
Agreed.
Like if it just but like even now it's like I'll put that in like a Yorm build sometimes. It just depends on like what I'm trying to do with Yorm in that game, and like it feels. Like mediocre.
Yeah.
No, not even okay. Like it feels mediocre.
Yeah.
Honestly.
Even on like the Morrigan, man. It's like, and she is probably the best, I think, hidden blade abuser out of every character in the game. And even like on her, it's like, it's okay.
I don't know. I say we buff it, make it do true damage.
Make it truly one shot.
Let's really get cooking in here. Yeah, let's really get cooking in here, I think.
Mail of Renewal getting some buffs from physical protections. I didn't realize that Mail of Renewal was only 15 protections. Like that is kind of crazy.
It's really low, but you got to keep in mind the passive stacks up its protections until it procs as well.
Right.
So, yeah. So it's still a pretty decently statted item. But yeah, I mean, I think this maybe gives it a little bit of an avenue to be built in support again. Yeah. People were on the I hate Thieves train for a long time. Yeah.
That's what we need.
I'm always a Thieves hater. So like any other item I can build first, I'm gonna try it, So I'm gonna probably be trying that out for sure in Smite 1.
Sekhmet, I think is how you enunciate this. Yeah. Scepter, increased duration from 5 to 6 seconds. Is this the one that gives you power? Cooldown. Oh, it's cooldown. Okay, so yeah. So like Guan Yu would abuse this really well.
Yeah,
and probably
there
horse.
was an Arachne build with that in it, and I think with other changes that are happening to Arachne,
Yeah.
this might be a problem. I'm not
Interesting.
gonna lie.
Interesting.
So yeah, we'll see. We'll see. Autospeed, if he still played Smite 1, would be having a heyday with this.
Last Gasp getting a cost decrease, which I think is fine. Increased power on Obshard, which I quite like this change because I think Obshard for a while was that sort of not last item, but like second last, maybe last item you would build to like really solidify your pen in your build as a mage. And so getting that extra oomph bit of power, I think will be nice on this item.
Yep, for sure. I mean, I agree. I think it's going to help it compete a little bit better with like other pen items like coin. I think a lot of people just were going coin instead of Obshard. So I like the buff. I like the buff.
Agreed. Soul Gem getting some increased passive scaling from 20 to 25% and increased heal from 15 to 30. I mean, we haven't seen Soul Gem in a hot second, so I don't mind these changes. I think they're pretty good.
Yeah. I think it's a cool last item on some characters, and like if you're already winning and you're buying Soul Gem, you're probably going to win harder now.
Oh, I haven't seen this.
Whatever.
This is actually this
change.
This is broken. This is actually
I hate it.
This pretty much reinforces the aura build that supports are going to have to go for. Increased passive radius, excuse me, from 55 to 70. Increased passive protections from 60 to 80. So 80 each?
Not 80 each, just 80 in total. So you're dividing up a little bit more prots. So it's not like super insane, but
so
like
40-40
with like exactly.
Okay.
So like we gotta keep in mind like, my fault. It is 80 of each prot. My fault.
Oh,
I see what you're asking.
Great.
I see what you're asking now.
Yeah. Okay. It's actually broken. Okay, moving on.
Yeah.
God buffs and changes and nerfs. Jing Chen getting some. There's a lot of like number changes and just like a lot of changes on specific abilities. I'm finding for a lot of these changes. Decreased mana cost, but also increased protection buff duration. This is on the 2 for Jing Chen, and the increased time between jumps from 3 to 4 seconds. Oh no, this is the 3. Excuse me.
Makes him a little bit tankier. Make sure he's not going to go nearly as much, which I think is good. And and he can also hold his jump a little bit longer, which I'm sure it's going to feel a little bit weird for some Jing players. All 12 of you that are still out there in Smite 1.
True.
But I'm sure it'll feel nice if you get used to playing with it.
On this is the ultimate, obviously increased damage on that ultimate, because of course that's what that needed. Just a bit more damage in the early game. Decreased cooldown from 90 seconds to 70 seconds at the max rank, and then decreased pre-fire time by 4%. So it's actually gonna be a little quicker, that wind up, I imagine.
Yes, that's exactly what it is. I think he'll be good. I think that ultimate doesn't need to be on 70-second cooldown, because with 40% CDR, that's like what, 36 seconds?
Yeah, I think what they're trying to do, and this is my theory is, and there's a couple of changes that make me suspect this, is Smite 2 beads is a very long cooldown timer. I think it's longer than its Smite 1 iteration, if I'm not mistaken.
It is by a mile.
And so maybe rather than like changing that in Smite 1, what they're going to do is they're just increasing the ultimates that like can pull beads and just like trying to pull them fast. You know what I mean? Like, oh, their beads are down. We're looking for that window time period where we can be active and look to punish the no beads character. That kind of thing and thought process it's just my theory.
Yep, I agree.
Terra buffs. Not really sure why we're buffing Terra. She was pretty okay, I thought. I thought she was definitely like one of the better guardians, but we'll see a buff to her cooldown on her 2. And then we'll see a buff on the damage on the 3, as well as the root duration actually getting a bit more root timing. Not a lot, but just some 0.1, some 0.2, some 0.3s, and some 0.4s.
Right. I mean, I agree. I do think there are other guardians that probably could have been buffed instead of Terra, but Terra has been struggling since the 9.5 revert. She's not been nearly as dominant. Like, she went from insane dominance to just not really winning a lot anyway. She's still getting picked, but just not winning a ton. So sure. I like the character, so I'm not going to complain.
Yeah, that's fair. This is a pretty significant buff for a character that I think that was already performing. Increasing the protections on the 1, which is absurd, by the way.
Let's go.
And then decreasing the mana cost of the 2 and decreasing the duration, or increase the duration, of the 2. I assume that's the protections of the 2. Or do you think it's like how long it like the 2 is out for. Like this is what I'm a little confused by. Increased duration from 3 to 4 seconds. I imagine that's the protections that it provides.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's the damage mitigation.
Okay, yeah.
It's gonna last for like damage, like what prot shred, damage mitigation, all of that. Man, lasting another second, it's gonna be nice. It's gonna be cool.
Yeah.
Reducing even more damage and healing even more, protection shred off objectives and people. So I love Khepri. Everyone knows I love Khepri. Keep buffing him to the moon. I don't care until he's broken. Just keep buffing him.
Ymir changes is probably one of the last things I expected going into this patch. Decreased mana cost of the wall to 60 at all ranks. Increased duration of the wall. This is just increasing it a bit in the early game to 3 seconds at tier 1 and then ranking up to 5 seconds overall. And then decrease the cooldown to from 13 at rank 1 to 12. And then the lowest being 10 seconds, which pretty significant. I think the wall is definitely the best part of Ymir's kit. And so why not buff his best ability if he's not struggling a bit? Exactly.
I'm a big Ymir buff enjoyer. I like this. I don't even like playing the character that much, but I do think he needs to be viable. I think it's a good buff. I think also like his mana cost on his ult, like is very negligible, like whatever, sure. But like the wall change I think is super important for him.
Yeah, I agree. The shards of ice, I think it just does not matter at all. Why are we buffing Nike? I'm gonna be real with you. I don't know why we're buffing Nike here. Increased base health.
High res.
I guess, man. Increased base health from 480 to 500. Increased health per level from 83 to 87 is kind of crazy. Increased rotation speed by roughly 33%. That's the 2. So she's just gonna be able to spin faster with that shield active.
Yeah, I think that's really good for her. I think that ability felt a little clunky sometimes, especially if there's a lot going on in a team fight. So I think that's probably needed. Her base stats being increased. I don't know why, if I'm being honest.
Yeah, she's already so tanky, and that shield just makes her so tanky.
Yeah, and again, 70-second cooldown on her ult. Like, why? like, why?
Yeah,
like,
this is again we're changing changing that sort of default timer of 90 seconds to 70 seconds for a lot of these gods for their ultimates.
Yeah, it'll make the game a lot quicker. It'll make her a lot safer. So
yeah, it'll definitely up the pacing of games for sure.
Yeah.
Gilgamesh. I mean, we've seen some Gilgamesh here and there. Surprised we haven't seen more, but I think now we're back in like that assassin meta for jungles, so it's not seeing a lot of Gilgamesh. Decreased cooldown of the 1 makes sense. Decreased mana cost for that. And then increased damage, wind damage. Sorry, this is the ultimate. Just upping that quite a bit and then decreasing that cooldown. So again, not to 70, but 90, which is interesting.
Yeah, I don't like why is this on a 9-second cooldown and Nike also a 70-second cooldown? It doesn't make sense to me. So I don't know. I think we're being silly.
This is one of those like update notes where you would have loved to have heard like where this one probably needed a show to be like, why are these changes happening? Like,
why are the changes happening?
Despite regaining a couple items from his jungle heydays, not a success standard role, that's fine. But then like Nike gets no explanation. Jingchen has no explanation as to why it's a 70-second cooldown now. Like I don't know.
I get the Sentinels buff because it's the least purchased support starter. Sweet. Yeah, it's not bad. It's just
I just want to know, why are we turbo buffing it that bad? I don't know. It's weird. Amuzan Cup. Increase max hives. This is crazy, by the way. So it's 7 at rank 1, 11 at maxed ranked on the 1. Like that's pretty.
I love it. You're maxing hives first. Like this is so dope.
I don't know if you're maxing hives first. I think you're still maxing the 2, then the hives, but that's just me.
I don't know, man.
Speaking of the 2, increased damage on the 2 as well to 220 at max rank.
Yep. I think that's cool. I mean, like the swarm buff clears, like whatever. I just again like this AF's gonna be so slippery. He already is kind of slippery, and he has decent peel. So, but yeah, again, like vision radius going from 20 to 30. That's the same as a ward. Like that's dope. Like that's really good for him.
Yeah, that one's pretty absurd as well. The 20 to 30 is pretty cool. Using those highs as a ward, which I think is how it should be. I think that's always how it should have been. And I think this will help like AMC ADC more so than AMC mid. Just being able to scout out in the long lane a little better to preemptively begin running away.
Yeah, I can see that for sure.
More ADC buffs. Jiblanque getting a buff to the mana cost of his 1. It's at 5 now to 4 at rank 1 and 17 to 16 at max rank, which I think is kind of important. You know, Xbalanque always struggling with that one mana. Oh, excuse me. As, you know, just a weird character. You kind of always have to build Death's Toll on him or else. And then you can't max the 1 because then you're just like never going to be able to clear the wave. Like, because you're never going to have like mana to fight after you clear the wave. Like, it's just really weird.
Yeah, 100%.
So I like this change. And then this 2 buff is interesting. Increase max number of darts per target from 5 to 7. Increase poison damage scaling from 10% per tick to 15% per tick. Increase slow from 20% to 30% at max rank. Decrease cooldown on that to 14 seconds. Yeah. I mean, this is definitely probably one of the stronger buffs of the patch.
Yep. Exactly. No, I agree. Artisan support buffs. We saw the Sentinels change, and obviously Capri and Terra.
Yeah.
So yes.
More AD carry buffs. Scotty getting a buff. Huge. Haven't seen a buff on her in ages. Increased damage per tick. This is of the 3, obviously. Max rank to 30. Decreased mana cost. Again, just a lot of mana help. I think the thought process of like some of these like cooldown changes and like mana changes is just make it so like these characters can cast these abilities more often.
Yeah, I agree.
And then not have to worry about the mana repercussions of that. Increased damage scaling per tick of this ultimate from 5% to 10%. I did not realize it was 5%. That is not a lot.
Yeah, but it does tick a decent amount. It'll be okay now.
Yeah.
I think Scotty's still like a character that's like so like unless she's turbo busted, she's not going to be viable.
Right.
I think she's a fun pick.
I can't wait for Scotty to be in Smite 2.
Right.
Izanami also getting buffs, increased damage. This is of the 1. So 5 at rank 1, now going to 10, 25 to 30 at max rank. And then her ultimate getting a minor damage buff as well. Nothing too crazy there. Just 20 on the lowest and highest numbers.
Yeah, why is your ultimate 640 base? I'm like, But yeah.
Shout out to 640 based. I don't know. I think Izanami still struggles with like, again, the items aren't to her favor right now. The meta isn't to her favor right now. It's more about like the scaling ADCs rather than the pressure ADCs.
Yep.
Yeah. Pretty significant Posh buffs as well. I mean,
I hate this character being in the meta, but I think it's fine. Like, this character is so unfun to play against, like to play into. If you guys have never played into like an Opwash that will like he'll like just one shot you with like a combo at like level 6 or 7, like it's gross. It's disgusting.
Yeah, it's never fun for sure.
Yeah, and he's only gonna get better in the late game now, which is dope. He also has, I think the biggest buff that he gets here is the damage reduction on his ultimate.
Yes.
15% if you get hit by 3 ticks of that. It's insane.
Yeah, the add 5% damage reduction per hit, stacking up to 3 times. So how does that work? Is it you take less damage?
No, you're dealing less damage.
Okay, I see. Okay, you're dealing less damage. So yeah, fighting that ultimate field is just not the play. Gotcha.
Yeah.
Baron Samedi now deals 25% bonus damage to minions. That needed to happen.
Woo.
That's the 2, yeah?
Yep, this is 2.
Okay. And then decrease cooldown. Again, this weird 90 at all ranks to 70 at max rank is just, it's really throwing me for a loop, man.
Listen, yeah, your Mojo players are weeping at that one for sure. That one's gonna suck. That one's gonna be rough for them.
Unlucky.
Yeah, unfortunate. Yeah.
Hera getting some very significant buffs, I think. The one I think is pretty cool. Increased damage scaling, and then decreased cone damage scaling. It's like, cool.
Mm-hmm.
The increased projectile speed to by 12%.
That'll be good.
And then 2 seconds at max rank, but 1.6 at rank 1, I think will also be very significant.
Yeah, I think her early game's going to be a lot better. I think already Hera was being slept on anyway.
Yes.
I don't think she needed this buff. I'm a little terrified to see if people are going to be like, oh my god, she got buffed, she's still bad, and they're going to buff her again, and she'll be OP. So, but I think she's good. I think she's actually really viable right now. I think she's really strong. If you are a good Hera player, you will run lobbies. So
yeah, it's too bad that Smite 1 is no longer being played in the SPL because Dardes would be absolutely cooking people with this buff.
Dardes would be creaming right now.
Raijin getting pretty significant buffs as well. Decreased cooldown on the 1 is pretty cool. The Taiko drum's getting massive damage buffs on the increased beat 2 and beat 3, which are the CC beats, obviously.
Yep. Yeah, I don't like this change at all, actually. I hate playing against Raijin. But I mean, like sure, he hasn't been viable in mid for a minute. Like I think, sorry, he has been the meta in mid for a minute. He's been viable in mid. Abducts on Words Out in Athens is going to be enjoying that buff a lot, I'm sure, during playoffs.
Agreed.
So I think that's a major change that's in their favor for sure.
Yeah, that prediction we covered last week did not account to a Raijin buff for sure coming into this upcoming weekend. Arachne buffs, you mentioned them earlier. Broodling damage now scales with 30% of Arachne's physical power. And we've decreased the cooldown from 14 seconds at all ranks to 14, then going down to 12. And then the Nightcrawler obviously getting increased damage scaling from 100% to 110%.
This ain't it.
This is not it. This character needs to die, man.
I mean, I'm like the Arachne support enjoyer. Obviously, like this is a big buff for me and my rank queues whenever I'm being silly on a Sunday.
Sure,
evening,
man.
But I will say, like the ability-based Arachne build that was still very viable before Equinox came out. It just got buffed because Segments just got buffed. Jotun's is still really very, very good. Serrated is still very good on her. So now, like, if you just get into like a triple spider like corner and then she hits you and like runs up at you, you might just die. Like honestly, you might not be able to win the game, which is rough.
And those spiders are already like really tanky as well. Like they can be really annoying. I'm not a fan of those buffs either.
Wait until they let them proc item effects. Just wait.
No.
Wait until you see frostbound Arachne spiders. Whew.
Surely not.
Yeah, that'll be a beautiful day. Brutalize on Fenrir gets a nice buff. I think it'll be feeling a lot more akin to Smite 2 Fenrir Brutalize, where that thing hits so hard.
That character is really good in Smite 2, by the way. In both support and in jungle.
Yeah. And in solo too.
Yeah. Decrease the cooldown of the ultimate, obviously. Again, that weird 90 to 70 is again very odd to me. What was the thought process of like the 70s versus the 90s? I don't know. Mercury getting some very significant buffs. Maximum velocity getting cooldown adjustments. Some buffs for that. It's going to be at 12 at the max rank and 14 at the lowest rank. Special delivery, increased damage scaling. I mean, this ability does not hit hard at all, so I kind of like this idea on the 3.
Right.
And then
Sonic,
why
was it 16%, not 20 anyway? Like
16 is such a very odd number, especially for a character that's building a lot of like crit and attack speed versus like power. I don't know. Decreased mana cost, obviously, of the ulti, which a very odd change to me. I don't know. I didn't realize that Mercury was having issues with his ulti mana cost. Like,
old mana cost.
Just a very odd one to me. Again, another significant change. Increase on the heal, I think, is quite cool. I like that change.
Makes the early game a little bit more sustainable for Naja.
Especially for a character who is supposed to be very good in the early game.
Yep.
Yeah,
but
90 seconds to 70 seconds at max rank. Again, like I don't know the thought process of why certain characters got 70 versus 90.
Yeah, this one's not it, Chief. 36 second Naja ultimates. If you want to go, for a really funny cooldown build, which is not even troll, by the way, you can build like Malicious Deathbringer, take the ult CD off. You can still go Bumba's Hammer. You can it's a completely viable build you can build on Naja and still get like 15-second ultimates, and it's not like bad.
Yeah.
So
yeah,
excited to see what people do with that. We'll see if it's like awesome, but we'll see.
It probably won't be. Kumbhakarna getting some nerfs. So this is where we're now into the nerf segment of the patch notes. Kumbhakarna getting a nerf despite receiving all those major buffs. So mostly to his damage, though. I guess they're trying to make him more supporty, but like I don't know why you just turbo buff this character and then immediately nerfing him into the ground. Or not nerfing him into the ground, but like nerfing him like this. Like, I don't know.
I mean, I will say I did see a couple like people playing like jungle Kumbhakarna, solo lane Kumbhakarna. Solo Kumbhakarna by
mid
far
lane Kumbhakarna
was viable. Yeah, mid Kumbhakarna going one shot. So I do think solo Kumbha was completely viable. I don't think they intended for it to be viable. I think they really wanted him to just get played in support. I don't know if I agree with nerfing Kumbha though. Like I was already on the opinion that he was very overhyped. He was very overpicked, or
agreed.
overvalued in picks and bans at least. So like,
Yeah, I agree. Nua getting some nerfs to her ulti, I think it's fine.
Yep.
This character's been performing a lot for a while. Hunter, very happy that he's now out of Sparta and doesn't have to worry about having to play the one trick. They're not actually a one trick, it's fine. Chang'e getting nerfs. Finally, she's getting nerfs, by the way. This has not happened like all season long, and she's been good ever since the 9.5 change. I think she came back into the meta, or was that?
Yeah. She's been really good.
Yeah,
it was 9.5.
Yeah, she's been good for a minute now, and so finally they're nerfing her a little bit.
Well, I feel like she fell off anyway. You know?
Yeah,
like
she did.
Like I feel like the Blink Chang'e ultimate. Like that's obviously like the thing that they're nerfing is the Blink Chang'e ultimate one-shotting you. Yeah, because like I guess frustration factor, and I get it. Like I understand that. Like I understand that for sure. But I'm like, she's not even getting like banned anymore, at least in comp, at least in my opinion. Like,
no,
it's like,
not really.
It's whatever.
And then I don't understand this at all. Freya already dead and receiving more nerfs. Decrease the base magical lifesteal to 6%. Decrease bonus damage to 60 at max ranked, and then increasing the cooldown of the banish. Like I don't know what lobbies Freya is running. But I don't know if people like need like some assistance on like learning how to play against this god, or like people need to learn to stop picking it. Like I don't know what is going on that this character is being nerfed in the ground to the point where she is not even playable in arena. I did 100% think of you when I saw this change. Who, Freya? Like, yeah, this makes no sense to me. I don't understand this change.
Like at least to me, and it's been like a thing, you know, ever since the Spirited book opened my eyes and showed me the light, you know, and told me, hey, like this character's not that good. And then we, you know, played against it and with it actually in a set. Like the following weekend, I was like, yeah, the character's dog meat. And then like every single time I've seen it ever get picked since then, I think the character's been dog meat. Like I don't think she's better than any of the top like 4 hunters right now.
No,
maybe 5 or 6 hunters. You know,
and she gets countered.
Even then, like the pocket picks are like whatever.
She gets countered by one of the best ones as well right now.
Yeah, like she's not good into Cthulhu. Obviously, like she doesn't want to build anti-heal, and like that sucks. You're not doing that into Cthulhu, by the way. But like any sustained comp kills her, anything that like blocks her autos kills her, anything that pressures her kills her. Her lane phase isn't great. Her team fight's not fantastic. Like, why are you picking this character? And now you have even less of a reason to pick this character because this character got murdered, taken out back old Yellard. It's so bad.
She was dead, and now she's in hell. Moving swiftly on. Medusa already was nerfed and also receiving another nerf. I wish she was okay. Again, I just didn't think the meta suited her anymore now that we're like Shred Hunter meta. So now we're just kind of like moving away from her. Why are we nerfing her again? I don't know. It's just very like odd. Very odd.
I think she was probably a more valuable like mid flex into AC as well.
Even then.
So like yeah, again, even then, like, are you really afraid of it? I don't think you are. You know, like there's better mages that you want to be playing right now than a Medusa mid. So
I'll tell you what, I don't think we see this change or this change if we have Pro League this season.
So true.
I think like the over nerfs, I just don't think we see them if we have a Pro League at all this season.
Speaking of over nerf, this is actually not an over nerf. This is actually an under nerf in my opinion.
Decreased damage on what is that? The 1?
The 1 by 10 at all ranks.
Yeah, I mean that's fine. I think. I don't actually think Cthulhu's that good, dude. I know.
No,
no, he's not. Like
that character's busted.
He is not busted.
Nah, he's broken.
He can 100% beat down, dude. I am so sick of people in scrims perma-banning characters that they think are broken, and then they go into the set and they're like, we have to ban this character, but in reality, it's just like. No, just fucking literally play, get to mid game. Your ADC has kins. You get to late game, you get to the crit online. This character doesn't get to play the game, dude. You kill them. You literally one piece of CC and they're dead, man. I'm telling you right now.
I don't know what Cthulhu you're playing against, man, but
Sparta players, man. I don't know.
I mean, maybe. I guess. Yeah,
I guess the Sparta players are all just ass, man. The solo lane Sparta players, man.
No, genuinely, like if you have a good Cthulhu in your game, that character wins lane pressure. He wins you every single team fight because he's killing the enemy backline literally by himself. He doesn't even need a jungler to do it.
Sure, man.
Like that character's so strong, dude.
Sure, man.
I don't think he's like uncounterable. By the way, I do think but you need to build a comp to counter specifically just him. Like, and if a single character is demanding that much draft pressure, I think you should just ban it. like,
Guess
you need multiple things to counter him.
Guess
like,
we'll see on Sunday, eh?
True.
Moving on. Athena is being nerfed. Which again, I'm like, why?
Who's
Like,
playing Athena?
I mean, we kind of are, but I'm like, again,
even Kaiser's not locking in this character anymore.
This is our counter to Cthulhu, by the way. You just taunt him before he ults, and he dies.
Nah, but Cthulhu's getting taunted. He deserves to die. There's no way. There's no shot.
You haven't been watching our scrims, man. I'm telling you.
You're right. Actually, I don't know, dude. I don't know.
Again, this is another change. I don't think we would see this nerf if Pro League was happening right now.
Well, I'm being so serious though. Who's still playing Athena? Right, give me a name because I don't know who's locking her in. Like
Max is.
Why is she getting? Okay. I mean, okay. And anyone else?
No, I know. I agree. I agree wholeheartedly. I agree. She's just she's one of those like easy to play characters, and I'm just like, why are we like? I don't get it. I don't get why we're nerfing this character. I don't understand it. These changes make no sense to me. Increase the cooldown of her dash, so we're making her less safe. Increase the cooldown of her 3, so she does less damage, I guess, over time. So she doesn't get her damage off, like to follow up. Like I don't understand this at all. And then decrease the damage of her ulti. Like this is fine, I guess, but like these two make no sense to me. Yeah, like I don't understand.
The old change doesn't do anything to her. It's like the old change is literally like whatever. And then I guess Shield Wall just hurts her early game clear, but she already wasn't early game clearing. Like,
why are we nerfing this? I don't understand why we're nerfing the 3.
I don't know. That character, like I always of the opinion that character is bad. Let whoever wants to lock it in, please lock it in. It's not good. So and like she hasn't been good all season. At least in my opinion,
that's not true.
Like, fantastic.
That's not true.
She hasn't been like top 3 or anything. Like she hasn't been like amazing. So
they wanted Athena ult to deal less base damage than Izza ult or something. I guess.
It does.
I guess.
It does. It's true. Yeah, that's true. I guess that's real. I don't know.
Bastet, our final nerf of the day. Again, another change I'm kind of surprised by. Decreased damage scaling from 27.5 per tick to 25% per tick. And then Ensnaring Claw, which is the 3, increase the cooldown of it to 14 at all ranks is interesting. Or 14 at max, sorry.
Yeah, I understand the Bastet nerf a little bit more. I mean, she's a frustrating character to play against if you're like a middle to lower end player. She was good, like decent, like she wasn't like OP or anything. So, but I mean, I get like bringing her down because she's a little bit more frustrating for lower end players. Like that would make sense to me. Like that's fine.
Yeah, especially because now that people are moving over to Smite 2, the player base might be kind of split.
Oh, it's definitely a lot. Like you have like either really like high level people that are just like either scrimming for their comp season that's still not over, and like all the queues are just low end people that are trying to like get their GM border because this so they can say I was good in Smite 1. So
true, classic.
I don't know, bro. Yeah.
If you're still fighting for that GM border, don't know what to tell you, man. Don't know what to tell you.
Yeah.
But that is it. That is the patch notes. I mean, it was. There's just so many changes where I'm like question mark.
Yeah, I think there's a couple question marks there that I'm like, why did we do this? But like overall, I think it's a good patch. I don't know why we're baby nerfing Cthulhu. We're nerfing Athena harder than we're nerfing Cthulhu. Like I just don't understand that part. So
yeah. That to me is what makes no sense. Is why we they're nerfing Athena the way we are, but we're not nerfing Cthulhu the way we are. I don't know, man.
Yeah, I mean, unless I just don't know the data. Obviously, like maybe he has like a really low win rate in like everything that's not comp. Like surely like that must be it, right? Like I don't know.
I don't even know.
But even now, like I still think he just runs rank lobbies because people are just like, especially like if it's not comp, people are not coordinated enough to deal with Cthulhu just running into the backline and killing people. Like I don't know, dude. I don't know.
Dude, he's not that good. That's all I'm gonna say.
He's OP, dude. He's OP.
He's not that good, man.
Okay.
He's not that good. Nobody's scrimming against him. Nobody's scrimming with him, so he's not that good.
Nah, that character's insane. But we'll agree to disagree for now.
They don't know about. Listen, last time we had a similar conversation, Hydra.
Okay.
Was Freya,
I'll give you
And-
the Freya conversation, sure.
Who ended up
Yeah.
being right on that instance?
It was you, dude. But like, hear me out, dude. Like, I don't know, dude. Like, a Cthulhu just is not played right now because like you're an ADC player. You're like the thing that despises him the most. So if you're saying that you counter him, you've just been playing against bad Cthulhus, bro. I don't know who you're
What can
against.
What can I say? I'm just a bit of a knower ahead of my time, ahead of the meta.
Listen. Next time Sparta team scrims, be like, guys, like tell the enemy team, hey, can you pick Cthulhu and like try to make it look good, please? Like, please. Like, please.
We literally do that. Like, we literally play against Cthulhu in our scrims, and we aren't like just outright losing to it. Like, I don't know. Again, it's very.
I don't know, dude.
I don't know.
That
Let me
character's
see.
OP.
The character is not OP.
Curses.
All right.
Just let expert have it. True.
Didn't we let expert have it? No, this
Maybe.
this is a different scrim. Wait, what is this?
Well, yeah.
Oh, yeah, this is a different scrim. Yeah. Oh, I didn't get screenshots for that scrim. Shh. Yeah. Oops.
Curses.
I was like, we definitely scrimmed a lot recently, and I was like, what?
Mhm.
And then, yeah,
I feel
I
you.
just didn't get
Well-
screenshots. Whoops.
Well, I think I want to ask this question, and then we can
Okay.
transition to the Q&A.
Yeah.
Because obviously, chat, you guys can feel free to participate in this discussion as well. But do you think the birth of Smite 2, the rise of Smite 2, is going to impact some people's performance in OSL and Smite 1? Do you think
Yes.
some teams are going to just like get like by far worse?
Yes.
Okay. Why? Tell me.
Because I've also gotten worse. I was playing Smite 1 the other day, I think with you, and yeah, it was a tough one. It was it was a rough one to say the least. I was against Vayu, and I was just getting
Oh yeah, the
owned.
Bayou Mini Delvin duo
Yeah,
lane.
the mini Delvin
Good.
Vayu duo lane was not it, man.
I don't know
I
if
was
you've heard, but they're playing collegiate together, by the way. Oh man, that duo lane's gonna cook.
are they? I don't know.
Yeah, I mean,
I'll
I think
t-
they're the best backline, best duo lane in collegiate right now for sure.
that's fair.
so,
Mini Delvin definitely
yeah.
carries that duo lane though. That guy was cooking.
I know, Mini's goated. Bayou's also really good. Like,
Bayou is really good,
Guy
yes.
picking his name for sure.
Yes.
But I do think like as a duo lane combo, collegiate's never seen a duo that good, like ever.
Dang, that is kind of crazy.
Like I think they clear like genuinely any other duo that's ever happened in the past. Like everyone was like, oh yeah, for random controlled IE. I was like, guys, no, like it's different. Like that duo lane's different.
It's not the same, man.
It's not the same.
All right, let's see if this works. Okay, it's nearly working. Here, let me move this
Okay, okay.
down. Cut. We will have a timer here because this is our 10-minute. This is our new 10-minute timer that I literally just made.
Mhm.
Scripts. Here we go.
Oh, let's go.
Where is it? What's 10 minutes? What's 10 minutes in seconds? 612.
Good question. 600 seconds.
600? No, I don't think it is. Is it? It is. You're right.
Let's go.
All right, chat. We have 10 minutes. 10 minutes of questions. Feel free to ask us just about whatever you'd like regarding Smite 1, Smite 2. Ask us your thoughts, guys. What's going on? So-
For real.
Ask us the T. Ask us the Smite 1, the Smite 2 T.
Actually, will you still be invading buff camps even though you got called out on Twitter? I must know.
Are you asking me that?
Uh-huh.
Oh, 100%. You can't stop me, dude. Even if they add Invader's Curse, you can't stop me from invading camps, man. It's gonna happen. It's gonna happen.
Listen, as long as Sunder is the way that it is, like it's gonna go crazy.
Can Hydra
Can
take his
Hydra
shirt?
take his
He cannot take his shirt off because I do not want to. I cannot get banned from Twitch. That will
Demonetized.
that will happen, and I cannot
Yeah.
afford to let that happen.
That'd be video exclusive podcast content.
Truly, that's
That'd be
our
okay.
that's our OnlyPans. That's coming to a game, an OnlyPans YouTube account near you. I actually
Yep,
watched
yep.
a video, I think it was a Twitter or YouTube video called OnlyPans, and it really was just like these three people just like making a bunch of sexual innuendos while they were cooking,
That's
and I'm
so
just
funny.
like, honestly, this is quality content right here.
That's so funny, dude. Yeah, Sunder, and they're adding back Pyro Bomb. Fire gonna melt like butter. I already think a lot of things on the Smite 2 map are really squishy. Like Gold Fury dies really quickly.
Yeah,
which
they gotta
I'm not
buff
thinking
that.
of that thing, by the way.
No, they gotta
I think it's actually good.
they gotta buff it a little
Like,
bit.
I don't know. I like that you're able, like, if you're a good team, you can just play for an objective really early. Like you can just snowball a game if you're just really, really good at it early. I like that feeling. But I also understand why some people don't like it. But Titan dies really quickly, like really quickly. So maybe make Titan a bit tankier. I don't know, but
Yeah.
I don't know. But I'm a big fan. Like again, I miss pyro bombs. I feel like that's like a
I love
like an integral thing
Pyromancer.
with Smite now.
I love Pyromancer as an objective. It's been around since season 4. Like, don't get rid
I
of
agree.
it.
Yeah, I would love it. Like, where would they put it on the Smite 2 map? Do you think?
All right,
like,
I gotta
put it where the gold.
No.
thing
I got a
is?
hot take for you.
Okay.
Get rid of the chest camp on solo side at 10 minutes and replace it with pyro.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I see what you're saying, but what if we put Pyromancer on the dual lane side where they?
No. I don't want that. I already have a big object over there I have to worry about in the early game. It's called Gold Fury. I don't want another one over on my side.
Nah, it's actually Gold Fury dies at all points in the game in less than 10 seconds. I feel like it dies in less than 5. Honestly.
I do think Gold Fury needs to be tankier in the early game. Yes, I'm okay with that. But I also like that it's dying pretty quickly. I don't like in Smite 1 like how long it actually takes you to do an important objective and like group up and do an important objective.
I feel like Fire by far takes the longest right now, but that's because like the only way to secure it really is like Coup Coconut and Sunder.
That's really it.
Yeah. But I mean, overall, I mean, I don't know. I like maybe okay. Actually, here's my take. All
right. Let's hear
it. The early Gold Fury, I think, is fine to have die quickly.
Okay.
The late Gold Fury, like the one that's like really, really important.
Oh, like Ancient Furies and like the other one. Yeah, I agree.
I think even second and third, I really think like I think the second and third Gold Fury, I think those two should buff those. Sure, fine. But the first one that gives me movement speed on my fountain, let me get that.
That's fair.
Let me keep that. That
is fair. I actually like that idea a lot. It's like for each Gold Fury that spawns, scale it like a little bit.
Yeah.
Like when it dies,
100%.
scale it up a little bit. I actually quite like that idea. Someone should high res and maybe suggest that. You heard it here first on the Greenroom podcast. We suggested that idea. If it happens,
the truth.
Scale up the Gold Fury's health and protections as it respawns after every time it dies. Because like I think the first one should be easy to take. Like it is an important objective that you should be fighting over.
Yeah. Like I think it gets the ball rolling really good in the early game. Like if you end up killing the whole dual lane, you can end up just taking it. Let's say you kill the jungler mid lane, you can just look to just take it and kill it. If you have a Naga buff for some reason in the early game, it can tank it for you, and you guys can just melt it.
Oh, I love Naga Queen.
Yeah, I'm a big fan of the Queen Naga buff.
I am as well. I am as well.
Can do for it. So I mean, I like the way that you're able to play the map around like the objective dying very quickly. But I do think the later ones they should be tankier probably.
Agreed. I agree with that. I will say though, I do not think that people are using the Naga Queen to its best ability yet.
I agree.
I think you should be treating that thing like Rift Herald, like from League of Legends. And as soon as you get it, you either put it on your jungler or you put it, probably your jungler. And then your jungler should just take that to a side lane or to like to any lane. If you're not doing like a neutral objective like Gold Fury or Fire, you should take that to any like side lane or like whatever and just use it to push and take the tower bounties with. That's my opinion.
I think when we see more characters in the game, it'll be different.
That's fair.
Because like I think if you have a ranged auto attack, it's infinitely more valuable because you can auto tower from like a safe range. Yamoja. So who is coming pretty soon. So like once if Yamoja picks that up and she just autos the tower, makes her minions there, her and the ADC, they can just push a dual lane by themselves. They can push whatever lane they really want by themselves. So I think that's really cool. Same thing for like a lot of things like Baron support could come in and do the same thing. I think that's also very, very cool. So I'm excited for stuff like that. But like I think it's a cool buff. I say we keep it. I like it. But I've heard some people just really don't like the fact that you can just have something take an objective for you. And to me, I'm just saying, I don't know, skill issue. I don't know.
I agree with that statement. I definitely agree it's a skill issue for sure.
Yep. You can also just sunder them and kill them, which I think is also hilarious.
I do want to mention I am a little worried about Sunder and just like how much we are seeing it. I don't know if it needs to be nerfed. I like the idea behind it, don't get me wrong. But I do think it needs to be maybe reworked a little bit. And like I don't know. I again, it's just the way Smite 1 is compared to League. It's so bizarre to me that League of Legends is a game that you load into the game. Your jungler is the only one with Smite, and then everyone else has other summoners. Now that could be because there's such a variety of summoners. That's why they go for different ideas. Like the support goes for like an ignite, which is more bonus damage on someone. I think maybe you split the damage on Sunder on enemy gods to a different summoner or a different relic, perhaps.
Okay.
And give that as an option maybe to some gods, like something like that form.
Okay. I can see it.
Versus the Sunder, which I think should be exclusively to either CC a god or to like
secure objectives.
Secure objectives, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I do think its max form is a little too powerful.
Right. I am going to disagree. I do like the way it is now, but genuinely, I think we should just buff other relics to be more in line with the strength of Sunder. You know, I feel like we should be seeing things like it's like, oh, like they have Odin. We really just need Phantom Shell, you know, but like right now you don't really care about stuff like that. You know what I mean? Or like, you know, I don't know. I mean, I feel like we just make the other relics so good to where they're competing with Sunder instead of just nerfing Sunder, you know?
I think that Aegis should be removed, personally. Okay. I think it should be removed for something different. And I don't fully agree with your statement just because I think Sunder right now in its current state is too powerful. And I think part of it is also that the in terms of the relics that we're seeing, I think part of it is also that there are not certain gods in the game. Right. Once we see more backline supports, they might go for the shell. We probably won't see blink emojis a lot going forward. Right. We'll see more like shells and stuff like that. I don't know. I think once we get more gods, that will help out a lot of balance for certain relics as well in general. Like we'll see more blinks, more beads. We'll see less, probably even a few Aegises. Once we get more like burst mages on the enemy team, in the mid lane and such. Yeah, I don't know. I'm just like kind of in this state where I feel like Sunder might be a little too potent right now. I mean, we saw in like the Smite like pro like the alpha tournament, like people were getting 3 Sunders and then 2 sets of beads on their carries.
Yep. So I do think right now it's by far the strongest relic. I don't think anyone can really argue with that. But I wonder like I don't want it to be a point where they're like, oh, like let's just nerf the one thing that I feel like we got right. Relic wise, like I feel like that relic is like it's really new. It's making a different play style happen. I like to see that. Like so, like maybe we don't immediately nerf that. We just buff other things to maybe encourage other kind of play styles as well.
You know how you fix that item? You lock it to jungle starter items.
Ooh.
That way, it's the jungler's sort of smite, like in League of Legends.
Okay.
Lock that summoner to jungle or summoner. I keep calling it summoner. Lock that item or that relic, to jungle starter items. That's an idea. Well, but I say that, but like jungles are not really going jungle starter items right now as well. They're going like blue stone.
That's true. That's true. Yeah. And I mean, you are seeing like, you know, like Awesome Jake was a really good example. He was playing like Fender support, but he wasn't building support. He was just building a second jungler. Like you would see that also become like I think that would be meta as well. So
yeah, it's possible. Chat, final questions before we have to wrap the show, because I know Hydra has a thing at 8:00. You got the Natusi Draft League Finals.
Yeah, dude, if we win this, I can officially say I've won more money in Smite 1 than half the people I know that are playing Smite 1. So it'll be fun.
Do you think the split player base is hurting the Smite community? No. Currently, the average player base for both games has been 6-7K Steam only. That's only Steam. Epic Games is also an important factor to take into account. And then console, I think, is what makes up the majority of the Smite player base. Over it is for sure. Yeah, the console player base is the big one.
I will say also, you can't really compare Smite 2's numbers right now because it's a closed alpha right now.
Exactly.
And there's a paywall to a free game. You know, so like once it goes like free to play, like hey, come play our game. I would definitely look at the numbers then, and if it's low, then I'd be worried. But like right now, it's just like right now the numbers they have are people that wanted to like get into the game early, like they wanted to either play comp wise or just really excited for Smite 2 and they paid the money for it, whether it's the 30 or 100 or whatever they used to get in, or they're just getting codes and stuff and they're getting lucky. But like once it's like open season, then I think we need to start talking about numbers.
Yeah, so. I agree. And like even then, like I mean, the answer is yes. It is like Smite 2 is hurting the Smite 1 player base, but like they knew that's by design. Yeah, it's a sequel. The fact that we have more players on Smite 2 than Smite 1 is good because that means that they're getting good feedback on the game state, and like they have it open to the masses and like what they're kind of doing with it.
I think the worst thing that could have happened would be like they opened Smite 2 for the alpha like 24/7, and then Smite 1 still had more players. Like that'd be a really bad
Yeah,
sign.
I agree. I agree. Which
Yeah.
I don't know if that is the case or not. I mean, it's still an alpha, so I don't know, but I definitely agree with
Yeah.
what you're saying.
For sure.
Steam average is kind of huge. Yeah, I agree. I also think so.
Yeah, I think it's good. I think it's cool.
Yeah, it's been very fun. It's been very fun to play, and I think the feedback is definitely positive rather than negative. And the people that are complaining are like kind of nitpicking about like oh, I just wish that like there were more gods, or I just wish that like such and such were in the game already.
Yep.
And like basically everything I've seen, has been an argument of like that can be solved by simply saying, oh, it's still an alpha, guys. Like, come on. Like, like just be a little patient. I'm so happy that the tweet that Pav made is becoming a copy pasta.
So
I've
funny.
now seen 2 of them today, and it's great to see. I don't know anything about
Great.
AGL, so I don't have any questions for the league. They're still playing on Smite 1.
Yep, they are still playing Smite 1.
Yeah.
So that'll be interesting.
It'll be their last season, which I don't think Smite 2 is comp ready yet.
I agree. Yeah.
Yeah. Which
Until Smite 1, you're stronger than me, soldier.
I don't know. I don't know how I feel about the Vegas land kind of coming up and the qualifiers for that. Surely I think what they should do is spend pretty much as much time in the next like 2 weeks getting out like 5-6 different gods and just trying to get them out to the masses,
They
because
definitely need it. Yeah, I agree. I'm agreeing for you for sure.
Because like I don't want to go watch the Vegas land. I'm not going, but like I don't want to watch the Vegas land and there be like 20-30 gods.
Yeah.
It's just
Even if
it won't be fun.
Like, yeah, I agree. I think at a minimum they need an in-game UI for picks and bans, which I know they're already working on it, which is cool.
Yeah.
So
yeah. It's crazy how much like there isn't in the game right now. Like the spectator system is incredibly buggy and like not working properly. But it's there.
It's better than nothing.
But like you can't spectate picks and bans. There's no like proper spectator picks and bans UI setup, so people are using like an off the client
like a third party thing.
Like to do picks and bans like outside of that, and like it's just so like crazy how much of a workaround there is right now that like surely it's not comp ready. It's an alpha, yes, but I'm like it's not going to be a beta by the time it's at Vegas.
For a minute.
Like I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, again, like I told people that like my thoughts on it, I was like, I'm not gonna slam a bunch of Smite 2 when it's, at least in my opinion, not ready for me to enjoy it for comp. So I was like, if I slammed it right now, like in comp, I would be burnt out on the game by the time it was done. You know?
Yeah. I'm
waiting for sure.
Yeah, I know AGL did a vote for their collegiate scene of like, do you guys want to do Smite 1 or Smite 2? And I know like people in the A&M server were complaining like, oh, like why does it have to be on Smite 1? Like I don't want to play Smite 1, like blah blah blah. Like, and I'm like, I get it, but also Smite 2 is not competitively ready, and it's like not like there's not even a pause system in the game.
Yeah, no.
Like for customs, like there's no pausing. So like you can't like,
which is wild.
You can't like do like it's not competitively viable. It's not competitively ready, and that's okay. Yep. But like,
yeah, it's fine.
People just have to like slow down.
It's an alpha, you know. Yeah.
Take a breath, realize it's an alpha, and then enjoy the game once it's more done and completed,
ready
and competitive ready. Yeah, let them cook a little bit. Let them cook.
Exactly.
All right.
Well, I think on that note, I think we can wrap it up for the day.
I agree.
Yeah.
All right.
Well, chat.
All right. Let's do it. Chat.
Yep. Let's do it.
Thanks so much. Thank you so much for watching and listening to the Warriors of Albion Greenroom podcast. We only have 3 weeks left of OSL, which means we'll be rebranding soon, I imagine.
Yeah.
Hydra and I will continue our show. I think we came up with a title. What was it? It was like Amateur Hour, I think is what we called it.
Amateur Hour. I feel like that's such a banger.
It is a banger name. Yeah, that is a banger name. We're probably going to rebrand to Amateur Hour, get some new like logos and stuff.
Yep.
Excuse me. I mean, we'll still be talking Smite 1 and Smite 2, I imagine. We're probably playing in both leagues for both games.
Yeah.
We have like Fight Club coming up.
Woo.
Yeah.
Yeah, but we cover like whatever leagues that we're like a part of. You know, if we cast in a league like that week, we'll talk about that league and stuff like that we cast and stuff. So I'm excited for it for sure. It'll be really interesting.
Sorry, I'm
but
dying.
you know, no, you're good. Please don't die. But yeah, no, I'm super excited for it. I'm excited to see what the future holds in terms of Smite and Smite content. I think Smite 2 looks dope. And it's making me really excited to like hop into content creation for it, whether it's casting, whether it's making YouTube, stuff like that. I'm super excited for it. So
yeah. And so if you want to keep up with our content that we do, you can follow us each on twitch.tv/spiritedbook and twitch.tv/chaotic hydra. Follow where I post the VODs on youtube.com/spiritedbook. I post all of our episodes on there with cool little graphics. It's cool. It's great. This is episode 11, obviously. It's great. Yeah, I mean, we're gonna, I think, keep on going. We've been consistent for 11 weeks. We've had to, you know, push things back certain days or whatever, but yeah,
only once. I think there's only been 1 week where we
were
didn't do Monday.
8 minutes late today as well. So, you know,
that's okay. That's fine.
It happens. It happens. But yeah, we'll keep on going. We'll wrap up the stream here. Take care, guys. Enjoy your week, and we'll be back same time, same place. Mondays at 6 p.m. And then the episodes go live on Tuesdays at around noon, 1 p.m. ish. Excuse me. But yeah, we'll see you guys next time, and yeah, take care, everyone. Bye.
We'll catch y'all.